Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Moyara, you've had a long day. Moyara is in one of the advanced manuals. It's speaking to inform, and she was working on the particular speech where you're supposed to take a complex subject and simplify it so that a regular audience can understand what she's saying, and I think she did this very well. Now, this is the second time today she's actually had to do that, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But she came up, the first thing she did was get the lectern out of the way. Now, that told us right away that basically that gesture was, hey, I know what I'm talking about, I don't need to worry about notes, I don't need this, listen to me. And that, I thought, was effective initially to get my attention and our attention. Now, where she fell down a little bit was in that her energy level at that point was down. And I can relate to this. When you're up at a TV station at 6 in the morning, and you're by noon, you're down. And it's all you can do to have that energy up at this time of the day. So I understand that. But I think probably the biggest area that I thought that she could have improved the speech was to be more emphatic out here. What about if this country that you lived in had this problem and your retirement was going to be taken away, and not only that, you were going to pay more taxes, and all the other things you said would have had more attention. You were just almost, like, just barely getting it out up here. And I know you well enough to know that when you're really excited about something, you usually are far more emphatic than that. It's just, I'm sure it's just because you're a little tired at this point. That's understandable. But you did pick it up as you went along, and again, because of your knowledge of the subject, and the fact that you can relate this knowledge to us in words that we can understand. That was the strength of your speech, and it also helps your credibility. I mean, you were absolutely, totally credible in this speech. You had excellent information and examples in the body of your speech about the problems in Greece. We're sitting here incredulously that how can these people, no wonder they're broke. How did whatever happened since Alexander the Great haven't make sense. So I thought that you were very good at getting that information across. One of the questions that asks here on the forum that I'm using today is, was the subject interesting? And I said it was interesting, but it was dry. There's nothing you can do about the fact that it was dry. Economics to me is dry. To you, it's exciting. Weather to you is probably dry. But economics is tough. I got a C in economics in college, which is one of the reasons I never went into it. So I think overall it was an excellent presentation today, and certainly your maternal instincts came out here somehow. It's tough getting that word in. But Moyara earlier today passed out a link. She was actually interviewed on KSPW, my station, this morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I know what it's like at that station at 6 o'clock in the morning. And one of my favorite guys at the station was interviewing her. This was a live interview. And she just handled it like a pro. I mean,
she did.
No hesitation. Dale was having more trouble than she was. And I know Dale doesn't stumble like that. So, I thought you just carried yourself very well, and you were very credible. And certainly this morning you got the message across. So that was kind of a warm-up for your speech here today. Although there were some differences. The focus this morning, for those of you that haven't seen it, was on the stock market crash yesterday. Anyway, great job, and look forward to you next week.
Thank you.